Let's wax poetic about some music. Welcome to 9K and Counting.
In life, there's roadblocks.
Hello, everybody. This is 9K and Counting. Today is August 30th, 2025, which means it's day 9,167 of my life. That means there's less than 3 years until I turn 10,000 days old and turn into ash, just as the prophecy has foretold. My name is JP, short for Jockey Pocky, and today we're going to talk about one of the only things that I physically collect, and that is vinyl records. I think it was for Christmas in 2021, maybe. I really wanted a record player and to start my collection. I got it for my parents, thank you, shout out to them. And since then I've started slowly collecting records that I really enjoy. I'm not a music snob by any means. As you'll see kind of going through, I have a lot of vinyls that are albums that I just really like and I like to listen to a lot. Sometimes it's just stuff from my favorite artists. Sometimes it's just stuff that I bought on a whim. So I'm going to go through all of the vinyls that I currently have in my collection, talk about them for a little bit, and that'll be that. Hopefully you guys find an album that you're interested in, or maybe you want to start collecting vinyls yourself. Up to you. The first vinyl that we're going to talk about today is actually the first one that I bought, and I bought it like a year before I actually had a record player, and that is Songs of Supergiant Games by Supergiant Games. If you guys aren't aware, Supergiant Games is an indie game developer. They've created games such as Bastion, Pyre, Transistor, and Hades, and they have a new one coming out called Hades 2. And they have made a lovely vinyl that is a bunch of their games from their video games, and they got a live orchestral collection for their 10th anniversary of a bunch of the songs. So yeah, I picked it up when it was kind of on pre-order because I just love the games that they do, and it's a lovely red vinyl. So there you go. That was the first vinyl I ever picked up, and the rest of these aren't going to be in order, just in the order that I have them on my table. So I'll go quickly through everything and talk about them. Next up, we have Complete 180. We have Collapsed in Sunbeams by Arlo Parks. Arlo Parks is an artist that I kind of just found randomly on Spotify. They're a lovely kind of soft singer. Been praised by Phoebe Bridgers, BBC Radio, a bunch of places. It's really just a nice kind of chill record, and I played it a whole lot until I actually found it kind of by accident at a record store. So I picked up Collapsed in Sunbeams. It's really nice. It's a little sad record. It's not kind of, I don't know, I'd put it on like a Sunday morning and just kind of let it play. But it really is, it's almost more of like poetry than an album, but very good. Oh boy, next up, a classic pretentious album that everyone has, and maybe everyone has a poster of, Currents by Tame Impala. Not much to say about this. I really like it. Oh, by the way, did you know that it's just one guy? It's just one guy that's in Tame Impala. It's just one guy. It's not a band. It's just one guy that performs and plays all the instruments. This next one, another 10th anniversary edition, actually, funnily enough. When I saw that they were selling this, RIP to some of the legends. They're not dead. The group's just dead. I got the Random Access Memories 10th edition vinyl. I mean, Daft Punk is one of my favorite electronic groups of all time. Maybe my favorite electronic group of all time. It won't be the last time you see a Daft Punk album. I don't have all of them, but I love RAM, Random Access Memories. So I couldn't find the original vinyl anywhere, or not anywhere that was too expensive. So when they said they're doing a 10th anniversary, I had to jump on it. A couple rock albums in a row. We have Blood Sugar Sex Magic by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Red Hot Chili Peppers is probably one of my favorite bands, rock bands of all time. And I don't know, this is one of the ones I first listened to all the way through when I first started actually just listening to albums and not just songs. And hey, I found it at a local Sunset Records and picked it up. Yeah, love the Chili Peppers. The reason I didn't say that the Red Hot Chili Peppers are my favorite band is because I think these guys are Paramore, and you know, you have to pick up Riot if you like Paramore, one of their classics. I mean, even just the, look at this shit. You get Misery Business. That's in it for itself, worth it. Ooh, next up, the first dupe of an artist. Here's Arlo Parks' second album. I pre-ordered it because I really liked their first album. I thought I would get Soft Machine. I don't love this album as much as Collapsed in Sunbeams, but it's still a nice vibe. It's very chill, same kind of vibe. Put it on when you're just hanging out around the house, when you're reading even, it's pretty nice. Another like slower kind of R&B, acoustic, really good album. Probably best songs on this, Pegasus featuring Phoebe Bridgers, and I really liked Weightless off of this as well. Shout out, one of my buddies got this because he was cleaning up his basement. Get that. I mean, what can you say about this? I didn't even have to buy it. Come on. Thriller. It still works. It's not too scratched up. And I mean, one of the greatest albums of all time. I can't even say anything else. If you haven't listened to it, go do that right now. Pause it, leave, never come back. Just go watch that. And my job will be done as a content creator. Okay, now we have a couple that were gifted to me. This, my parents got for me when they got me my record player. The Tarzan soundtrack. Tarzan was one of my favorite movies growing up, and still probably is one of my favorite animated movies. Phil Collins, what a legend. The Bald Beauty. Yeah, I mean, I love Tarzan. I love the soundtrack. And the vinyl's pretty cool. It's literally Tarzan on a vinyl. So there you go. And another one that I received as a gift and is also a movie soundtrack. I got the Guardians of the Galaxy Deluxe Vinyl Edition. It has both the Awesome Mix, which is the mix of the songs that are the James Gunn kind of song selection, like Hooked on a Feeling and all that stuff. And also the other disc in this deluxe edition is the original score. I haven't actually played that on my record player, but movie soundtracks are always good when you're trying to clean or you need to focus, so I'm sure I'll spin it at some point. Okay, I think most of these are newer albums because I just kind of bought them new. This is one of the only ones that I found at a thrift store in one of the crates, and that is The Gambler by Kenny Rogers. I had to pick it up just because, I mean, The Gambler's a classic song, but there's some other bangers on this album that I wasn't aware of. You know, She Believes in Me, Tennessee Bottle, Making Music for Money. Good tracks. I'm not a huge Kenny Rogers fan, but I mean, you can just put it on. It's a little scratch. You can still play The Gambler and then turn it off, and sometimes that's all you need. All right. I do actually have these as back-to-back. As I've mentioned in previous videos on the channel, I love JID, and I have a lot of his discography on vinyl. I have The Never Story, which was the first album that I listened to from him. An absolute classic. Please go listen to this. If you like anything by JID from now, go listen to this. It's so good. Then I have arguably his most popular album, The Forever Story, which funnily enough, I'll just hold it up, but I'll hold it up for a second, but I won't be able to talk. The Never Story, the first one that I showed you, is actually just this is the real person version of the cartoon version that's in The Never Story. It's very similar. I'll show you the two albums side by side. Very similar concept, just one's real people and one is a drawing. And technically not a JID album, but he's heavily featured on it. Probably the one that I play the most, Spillage Village by Spilligion. It's an Atlanta-based group. It's featuring JID, Earth Gang, and a bunch of other artists. This one, honestly, is almost... There's a few tracks that are almost kind of religious music. In terms of their content, not really. It's not worship music. I find myself returning to this album more than pretty much anything else on this list. So, if you enjoy hip-hop, R&B, and a little bit of, you know, Jesus, this one kind of hits. Queen, Greatest Hits. This is Greatest Hits 2. I mean, look. Compilation albums, some people say it's lame to get them because you're only picking the best songs. But Queen has so many good songs that the fact that they need a Greatest Hits 2, and it has songs like Radio Gaga, I Want It All, every single song bangs on here. So probably one of the better Greatest Hits albums of all time, and I really like this one. Moving on, Heroes and Villains by Metro Boomin. I picked this up as soon as it dropped. Just listening through it, the features on this are ridiculous. I don't know, I was in a big Metro Boomin phase. As you'll see, I have a few other albums that he was involved with. But yeah, really like this album. Some of the best, you know, like Weeknd and Travis Scott features of all time are on here. So a hip-hop staple. Not staple, but could be seen as a classic in a few years, I think. 11 and a half minutes runtime, and I'm not even half done. All right, this, I think, is the vinyl that I picked up most recently, only a few weeks ago. And it is probably one of the best newer artists that I've ever listened to. and that is Sometimes I Might Be Introvert by Little Sims, or Simba. Oh my goodness. This should have won Album of the Year in any contest. It's one of my favorite rap albums ever, and Little Sims holds her own pretty much with any rapper that you know of right now. It is a beautiful, like, soundscape. The first, like, 3 songs will blow you away. Just try it, listen to the first song, and just you'll stick with it. It's so, so, so good. Well done, Little Sims. You have made a fan for life. Another woman that I have a fan for life, Leve. I've already spoken about her Tiny Desk concert on here before, but Bewitched was my first introduction to her music, and I really was bewitched. This is one of the other vinyls that I play probably the most in the house. It's just so soothing, kind of almost like chamber lounge music. And you can just put it on and just vibe. It's so good. And fall's coming along, so get ready for Melancholy Fall with some Leve. And her new album's really good too. I do want to get the vinyl for that, but I have not had the time to purchase it yet. But it's really good. Speaking of compilation albums, this I got as another gift. This is the Raised by Rap 50 Years of Hip Hop. I guess it's a kind of a compilation mix of a bunch of rap songs from 50 years, basically. Goes all the way from like Summertime and Funkified and Genius Rap and Run DMC and Can I Kick It in the first side of the record to New York State of Mind, and then to Outkast and 3-6 Mafia, and then the last side actually has a bunch of kind of more modern stuff like Old Town Road, Praise the Lord, Mask Off. So it's kind of a cool way to go through the history of hip hop. Cool little compilation album. Another heavy hitter. I only have one of his vinyls. I do want to get a couple more records, especially Taboo. But I have Melt My Eyes, See Your Future by Denzel Curry. Probably one of my favorite of his in terms of a concept album. Really good. The sound is amazing. And the vinyl is really cool. It's like a pearlescent blue, which is very pretty on a record player. I mentioned that I was big into Metro Boomin, and this is why. I got probably one of the coolest vinyls ever. I got the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Metro Boomin soundtrack. I've listened to this so many times. And like, look at these. Hold on, I'll hold up the vinyls. The fact it's in like a clear case and you can see the vinyls, the Spider-Punk vinyls are so cool. But yeah, this is an amazing, amazing record. And the fact that it was all for a movie is ridiculous. And now I can't wait to never see the third part because this movie is never coming out. Thanks a lot. Okay, now fully back into rap for a couple records. I mean, come on. Kendrick Lamar. What are we even talking about, man? To Pimp a Butterfly. One of the greatest albums of all time. I had to pick it up when I found it. I actually found this in the States. Shout out, I don't even know what store it was. It was in like a bookstore. And they had it. I was like, yep, I'm buying this. It's mine now. He's the GOAT. Speaking of some of my GOATs, might not be your GOAT, but Saba, I really liked. I didn't get the Soldier album, but I did get one of his most recent albums. This guy right here. Amazing record. This is another one that I kind of just put on in the background, and it's super good. The vibes are amazing, especially the backside of them. The last few tracks, like the titular track, Few Good Things, featuring Black Thought, is probably one of my favorite songs on this, as well as 2012 featuring Daywave. So the back half of this record is amazing. The first half is great too. But check this one out. I think an underrated gem that I really like. Now on to one of my favorite artists, and I'll see if I can find them all in a row because I have almost all of his albums, his solo albums at least, and that's Anderson .Paak. Here's Ventura. So cool. Loved this when it came out. I have Oxnard here as well. More rap than R&B, but this one's really good too. And then I couldn't find it for the longest time. And then when I was on a trip to see my friend in Chicago, I walked into, just on a whim, to a local record store, and they had a copy of freaking Malibu, which is my favorite Anderson .Paak album. It's R&B and rap and jazz fusion, perfect, and it's so good. If there's nothing else that you go and listen to after this, it is listen to Malibu. It's so good. I need this painted on my wall or a tattoo or something because it's so good. Thank you, Anderson .Paak. But J. Cole, I think his best album, For Your Eyes Only, it wasn't super well received when it came out, but I was always a huge fan of it in terms of a little bit more conscious and the beat selection. I don't know. I really like this. I still think this is probably his best album, to me at least. For Your Eyes Only is super, super good. Moving along, you know how I said Queen has some great compilation albums? Here's the first greatest hits album. I have both. I mean, Queen, epitome of pop and rock. I don't know, not much to say. It gets the people going. Another Daft Punk album and another soundtrack album, The Tron Legacy. Imagine how good this movie could have been if the movie was good and wasn't just carried by Daft Punk. Sorry. I'm not a huge fan of the movie Tron Legacy, but the soundtrack is amazing. I can't believe they just let Daft Punk go wild with an entire soundtrack, but they did it, and I love it. I put it on all the time. Okay, this is one that my parents found for me, and I thought I would never actually get it. And that's John Bellion's The Human Condition. I looked for this for so long, and I think they reprinted it like right before one of my birthdays, so my parents were on it super quick, and they got it for me, and they're the goats, because I think this is probably one of my favorite pop albums, and I don't know, John Bellion, considered corny by some people. I still think he's a little corny, but this album really, I think personally it kind of linked me closer together with my parents. It was the first time I played like a rap album that my whole family liked, probably because of the message and that he's a Christian, but I think it's a great album. I'm going to listen to this after, man. I love John Bellion. Not so much his more recent albums, but The Human Condition is about as perfect of an album to me as you can get. Another absolute smash hit. It's just more Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City. Like, listen, come on, you know? It's so good. How do you not listen to Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst and not cry? You know? So cute. So many of these albums, I'm like, I'm just going to put these on after I finish this video. And here's another one. It's Illmatic by Nas. Another GOAT. Look, if you want the tip of the iceberg for GOAT hip hop, I have them all in vinyls, and this one is no exception. Illmatic, probably some of the best rap ever, and the fact you can listen through it and really not have any misses, and it's just perfect. And especially listening to it as kind of a younger person, I didn't listen to it when it came out, obviously. I'm still kind of young. But just the fact you can listen through the whole Illmatic album and notice so many things where it's like, oh, this was sampled in this song, and they took the flow from this song, and it's such an absolute blueprint for hip hop even today. It's like, damn, I'm holding history in my hands and listening to it on a record that I own now, which is pretty cool. Moving on, another soundtrack album, the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack. It's not the official one from the anime. It says soundtrack from the Netflix series, so it has a few songs. It's a little weird. Some of it is from the Netflix series, but I think most of it was performed by the Seatbelts for the actual anime. And a lot of these are vinyl only, so I guess they didn't have them on the CD version or the digital version. So a great little kind of jazz vibe. And they do have What Planet Is This, which is one of the greatest songs of all time. So Cowboy Bebop, the GOAT anime. I don't watch a lot of animes, but that one's the GOAT. All right, just a few left to talk about here. Another Paramore album, their most recent album, This Is Why, got me back into Paramore. I love this album. I listen to it a lot. Some of the tracks, The News, This Is Why, Figure 8. What else is good? Liar. I probably listened to this like 40 times when it came out, and I still spin it. It's really good. And Hayley Williams, give me a kiss. Ooh, another artist that I haven't really talked about at all, but I got Dawn FM by The Weeknd, another album that I listened to religiously when it came out. Jim Carrey as the narrator, insane choice to do, but so cool. And the whole album's so good. What's the ending? Less Than Zero, probably one of my favorite Weeknd songs of all time. Moving on, Tyler, the Creator. Look, some people may like different eras of Tyler, the Creator, but the first Tyler album I listened to was Flower Boy, or Scumfuck Flower Boy, you know, whatever. Dude, just the just the musical atmospheres that he make. You can definitely see him evolve as he goes into stuff like Igor and even like Pick Up the Phone. That's not his album name. Maybe it. Don't Tap the Glass. Thank you. Oh God, my brain. But he really came into his own. I think it was such a surprise because he had only kind of created this abrasive with Goblin and with Cherry Bomb that when this came out, they're like, holy fuck, he's a real musician. So as the first Tyler album I really kind of got into, I had to pick this up, and it's great. It's a great spin. I love this era of Tyler. Moving on to a few, these are now just a few albums that I picked up because I thought they were neat, and I listened to them a little bit, and I had extra money. Hyperdrama by Justice. That's what it's called, right? Oh, thank God. Hyperdrama by Justice, a great EDM a great EDM record. I wasn't super aware of Justice before they released this, but then, you know, they have the feature with Tame Impala and with Thundercat on a couple of their tracks, and I was hooked. And the whole album's great. Just dancing in my living room to the chagrin of my downstairs neighbors, I'm sure. Okay, a few left, I promise. Here's another Anderson .Paak. This is his collab with producer Knowledge. This is No Worries. It's the name, and the name of the album is Why Laud. They did a Yes Laud album. This one's really good. I just picked it up because it was kind of brand new. But 86 Centra, one of the craziest beats I've ever heard. And the whole track, there's a lot of tracks on this. Like, look, lots of tracks. It's still a pretty short album though, so go check that out if you need some jams. Hey, look, it's another Paramore album. This one I don't have that much to talk about. I just picked it up because I saw another Paramore album. But Grow Up, Daydreaming, and Fast in My Car are some of my favorites of this one, so check it out. Not as favorite as the other two Paramore albums that I have, but still very good. Here's another one that my brother found at a thrift store. How about fucking Reckless by Bryan Adams? He's a big Bryan Adams fan. That was kind of the reason I moved my record player from my room into the living room, because, you know, music's for everyone. So if he wants to listen to Bryan Adams, spin that shit, man. There we go. I didn't buy this one. I do like Bryan Adams, not as much as he does, though. But I mean, there's some bangers on this one. Like Summer of '69 is on here. Like, come on. And then the last artist that I have two vinyls of here, all caps when you say the man's name. We got Mad Villainy by MF Doom, and we got Food by MF Doom. And it's like, come on. What can you even say about the metal-fingered villain? Oh, it's so good. I'm going to play this afternoon. There's so many good records. And finally, the only vinyl I haven't opened, and I can't believe I haven't yet, but a bit of backstory. Probably one of my favorite TV shows, if not my favorite TV show of all time, is Avatar: The Last Airbender. Last fall, it turns out that they were doing a Avatar: The Last Airbender in concert with an orchestra in my city, and my parents got us all tickets. My whole family likes the show. My parents graciously bought us all tickets to go see this orchestra, and it was probably the greatest live performance I've ever seen. They had like scenes from the show up on the screen as the orchestra performed, and they even had like 4 principal artists that did the original recordings for the whole show. Dude, when they got to Leaves on the Vine, everyone was sobbing in the orchestral hall. I've never heard people ugly cry in a public setting like that ever. I'm almost tearing up just thinking about it. But I did pick up at the show Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 1, Water. So it contains pretty much all the tracks from Book 1 of Avatar. I'd love to get 2 and 3. I don't know if they exist, but I am going to unseal this and listen to it very soon. I can't believe I haven't yet. I guess it's just been hiding on my vinyl shelf. But that is going to do it almost half an hour later. Good Lord. Yeah, that is my vinyl collection as it stands right now at the end of August 2025. Perhaps I'll do another tour if I buy a bunch more vinyls in the future. But that's what I got right now. If you guys like this, let me know which of those vinyls is your favorite, which of those is your favorite album. Why don't you tell me what your vinyl collection is in the comments below? And I think that's going to do it from me today. Why don't we end it off with a quote from MF Doom? All caps when you spell the man name. I'm out of here. Peace!